A very merry day to you, fangirls and fanboys. Corrigan Vaughn and Kristin Lattarell here with you once again to go full boil on all kinds of pop culture things. Today we have the pleasure of chatting with actress Cynthy Wu. You might recognize her from ABC Family's Twisted, NBC's Growing Up Fisher, or even some really adorable McDonald's commercials. But today, you'll get to know her as a paragon of awesomeness. Cynthy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
I'm super glad to have you here. Cynthy is an awesome person who I have had the pleasure of knowing for a while from college. Which somehow...
I don't know Cynthy from college, but we did go to the same college. So we're basically friends once removed.
We went to a school with like 5 people in it, but somehow Kristin and Cynthy don't know each other, which is weird.
Story of my life.
Yeah. I think before we get into things, one of the pressing things I think everybody who listens to this regularly will know is that we've been super, super excited about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which...
I'm wearing my shirt. Oh!
Yeah.
I made it!
Yeah, she made these shirts. I have one too.
How awesome!
Right?
So cool.
That's
pretty much my spiritual gift, making t-shirts.
I know. I'm so impressed. Like, I didn't... These are iron-on.
The term spiritual gifts in a while.
I use it on the reg for everything I'm good at.
Yeah.
CDs.
We're just trying to take you back
t-shirts.
to college.
Oh, this is so great.
Which reminds me, did you guys see the thing, I can't remember if it was BuzzFeed or something else that was going around that was like, how you know you went to a Christian college?
Yes, I saw that. I didn't know that not wearing shoes was like a Christian campus thing.
I know, I never wore shoes. I just was like, I don't like shoes, so...
Like
I just
class?
remember...
Like, just around campus.
Yeah, don't you remember, like, people, like, walking around, like, what was the grassy area where the VUSC sign was?
Yeah, the campus mall.
The campus mall.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, people with their, like, I don't know, skirts, bohemian skirts, and, like, head wraps, and, like, cool 31 bits,
Yeah.
Bits.
And,
like, crochet kids' hats.
Yeah, I just thought those were the hippie kids. Like, I thought all campuses had those hippie kids that, like, danced in circles and,
I don't know.
ate vegan food or something. I don't know.
Maybe there's just a concentration of them at Christian schools? I don't know.
Yeah.
This was on the list.
And maybe I should read the list.
Yeah, it had a few things that definitely hit close to home. And, oh no, I forgot. There's something wrong with my headphones, and so last week this kept happening that my iTunes randomly starts playing, so if I suddenly look like really confused and frazzled, it's probably because I'm trying to stop something from playing.
Okay.
But yeah, so that list exists, and apparently being barefoot is a Christian school thing. So I'm a cliche. There you go. Not wearing shoes now either, or
Is
pants.
it the 31 signs you attended a Christian
That
college?
might be it.
I think so.
That sounds about right.
You attend chapel every week.
Oh,
Your
no,
dorm
that's
has
not
a-
it, because wasn't it more, like, I feel like it was more clever than that. Like, it was, like, rushing to get your last chapel credit in before the end, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
Yeah. What did they call it when you just scanned your card and left?
The slide and glide.
Slide and glide! That
Oh,
was it.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, they're going to
Cynthy
take back
never
your
did
diploma for that because now we all know that you did not really go to chapel.
You were a sliding glider.
Slide and glide.
I know. By last semester, I was like, technically, they can't really, like, do anything if I don't go, right? And I was an RA.
It takes everybody a couple semesters to figure that out.
Right? Yeah. Well, if you do it too early, though, then they actually, like, they limit your units and do stupid stuff like that. But
You can't go on trips, like mission trips and stuff.
that's true, yeah. If you don't go to chapel, they don't let
So
you go to
children
missions trips.
in, like, third world countries are suffering.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry,
Because
we
you
can't
didn't go to chapel.
We can't build your house. We
times.
didn't go to chapel.
you
What are
guys
gonna
were
do?
going straight to hell. Just letting you know. This is like, I don't know how many people follow this podcast, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get back to VUSC.
Yeah, this is true. We're either going to hell or getting our diplomas taken away. One or the other, but it's fine.
No, mine's framed, man. They can't take that.
I don't even know where mine is. I think, like, every time I unpack from something, I'm like, oh, I remember this. I had this
Yeah,
once.
I did that once.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a cool thing I did.
Yeah.
Mine's hanging up in my parents' Hall of Fame. They literally have a wall, actually, of all of our diplomas.
Wow. Do you have a lot of siblings?
Just me and my two older sisters. It's really awkward. My parents are immigrants, so education was like,
Yep. Big time. That's cute, though, that they're, like, they celebrate, they have all the diplomas up and everything.
It's cute now. I think growing up, I was mortified that, like, you want, like, you graduated 6th grade. I literally have my 6th grade diploma on the wall.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. I'm pretty sure, like, in high school, they mailed you the diploma later because, you know, they didn't want to give it to you ahead of time, and then it turned out you didn't graduate. And I'm pretty sure my mom just, like, threw it away.
Like, I think they sent it to you later as like a don't behave at graduation. You should behave at graduation, otherwise you don't, you know. So they like waited to make sure you did.
There's some sort of threat to it.
Yeah.
Either
I was like,
you didn't pass.
Me throwing tortillas is really going to be the end of the world. School administrator.
Where was that on the Christian college list? Throwing tortillas. That was the best. Anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy was where we started this whole thing at.
Was that where we were? Okay.
It was where we started. Cynthy has not seen it yet, unfortunately. Oh, man. And
you should go see it. See it in 2D, though, not 3D.
You know what? When I saw it in 2D the second time, and is Cynthy frozen?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Can you hear us?
I can.
Oh.
Am I back?
Sort of.
Your voice is.
Your voice is back.
Oh, man.
It's a pretty good freeze, too. You're good.
It's been
You're
told
good.
that I have really unattractive still frames, so I just... like, at any given point in the middle of a scene, I'm like... So, it's just...
You're like, what were you seeing here? Why do you have 15 chins? Your hand is like this. It's like...
So good.
Anyway, 2D, 3D.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the still frame thing later, though. Don't let me forget about it. But I went and saw it in 2D yesterday, and there were actually parts of it that I liked better in 3D. And I'm not a 3D enthusiast, but there were some points in it where you're just, like, immersed in it in a way that wasn't, like, in 2D you're a little more distant from it. So I will say there were some perks to it. But I think it goes without saying that this was the perfect movie.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was.
That's a huge, huge praise. I really have to see it.
You do. It was so much fun. Really funny.
It's the funniest movie. It's the funniest movie I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, we laughed out loud a lot.
I feel like I need to rewatch it because I know I want to watch it by myself because I know everybody else was laughing. So I think I missed some lines that were probably funny follow-up lines, but everyone's laughing through them. That you missed them.
Exactly.
So I want to rewatch it.
Yeah. And the second time I saw it, I know there were other people in the theater who it was their second time, too, because sometimes they'd laugh through lines that hadn't quite happened yet. And I'm like, oh, no, but I want everyone to hear how funny this is. This is so good. And then they make you feel things for, like, a tree and a raccoon.
Oh, the tree.
Just like...
Groot is so wonderful. I know. Remember that? I remember there's that one part when everybody in the part when they're in the, like, mining and they're doing the... I don't want to be... I'm trying to be...
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, no, I get what you're
talking about. That part, and he does that with that thing, and everyone's like, oh, and everybody in the whole theater was so into it. Yeah. It was so wonderful.
It's incredible that they're able to do these CGI things that, I don't know, you feel so much.
It's like that IKEA commercial. Remember with the lamp? And it was like, oh, the lamp was old, so they got rid of it, and they put it in the rain, and this sad music played, and this old Swedish guy was like, do not feel sorry for the lamp. The lamp has no feelings. Now they have this cool lamp, and it was just like really funny. That was a horrible Swedish accent. So.
Thank you for that.
Clearly, I'm not going to be in the next Girl with the Dragon Tattoo installment, but they had, and so it made you feel like, and then by the end you're like, yeah, I did feel sorry for that lamp.
Why
that
did
was
I feel
so
sorry
stupid.
For a lamp?
You know,
interesting.
Anyway, that's what I equate it to.
Do you think they were like picking on Pixar because of the lamp?
No, because this is like really old. Really old commercial.
Like older than Toy Story?
I have no idea.
Okay, well...
Maybe they were. Now that you say that.
Was IKEA around before Pixar?
Yeah, of course. I don't know. I don't know any of these things. Stop asking me questions.
You guys, I've never thought about this before. There had to have been a time where IKEA didn't exist.
I'm just going to Google sad lamp IKEA commercial.
And then can you also Google when did IKEA start existing? Because I'm curious now.
Yeah, me too. I feel like IKEA's just always been around.
See, and I feel like it hasn't, but that could just be because I'm not from California. So when I moved to California, I was like, oh, there's IKEA everywhere. There was not one anywhere near my tiny little nowhere town in Massachusetts. So maybe they were always there. Laddie, what is that face?
Why does Kristin look so worried?
Well, it was founded in 1943.
Wow.
Wow.
That's definitely before Pixar.
Yes.
Yes.
But, I mean, the lamp commercial isn't from 1943.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
They didn't have those then.
Lamp commercials. There was definitely a shortage of lamp commercials in 1943. Thank God they've remedied that.
That's always what I think. I'm like, God, every time I watch Hulu, I'm like, I wish they had some more lamp commercials. That's really what I'm missing.
Oh my
You know?
Yep.
Anyway.
So everyone should go see Guardians. We're super enthusiastic
Yes.
about it. We might have to make like an extra because John Vanderhoff, you may remember, was on the show a while back and really wanted to come back and talk to us about it. So we may have to put an extra thing on the YouTube later.
That's
So
good.
that
That way
everyone-
people can listen to it and know, like, hey, don't listen to it unless
Yeah.
you've seen it.
We don't
'Cause
want to
that's-
spoil anything.
I don't want to spoil it. So I feel like that's like a standalone, hey, don't listen to this, but this. I don't want to spoil it because I want them to listen to this as well and not be a spoiler. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great.
We're
And you
not
haven't
a
seen it,
spoiler.
so I don't want to spoil it for you either, Cynthia. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
I would hold it against myself if I spoiled it for you, Cynthy. So there's that. So we're just
anyway,
gonna get going now and start talking about Cynthy and things. And the way that we like to do that here in the Fan Cave is to start with top threes, because we all know the most important thing about getting to know someone is their pop culture interests. So we have two top threes for you. And we're gonna start with your top three actresses, either people you aspire to be like or people who you would get starstruck around. And it doesn't have to be your top three of all time, like just right now.
Okay.
Top three.
Well, I mean, the Starstruck story. Oh,
There's a story.
I know. It's
Yes.
embarrassing.
Awesome,
Never
I love
in my life
those.
did I think I would be one of those obnoxious staring people, but I did, and I feel so bad that if I ever meet her. Okay, so I'll just say Natalie Portman.
Nice. Okay.
Love.
That's a big one.
her.
Everyone loves her.
I mean, love her so much. I just do. And I was in Silver Lake having dinner, and this restaurant has now closed. It's a small vegan spot in Silver Lake. But I was having dinner, and she walks in, and this restaurant probably had about 6 tables. Like, that's how small
Oh my
it is.
gosh.
So she walks in, and I guess,
Oh my gosh.
oh, that's Natalie Portman. And so, like, she was ordering takeout, and so she was just standing there waiting, and I'm pretty sure she noticed this girl just staring her down.
Oh my gosh.
I was having dinner. I couldn't stop staring. So, anyways, I mean, I feel really bad now because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm the person that like people talk about, like when they just want to have lives without weirdos. Looking
She's
at them.
telling the story
Natalie,
later.
what's your creepiest fan interaction? Oh, this one time I was in Silver Lake at a vegan restaurant, and this weird girl was just staring at me, and I thought she was gonna follow me home and like wear my skin around, and it was just super creepy.
She looked amazing. She was probably like a long day from like being fabulous, but she was in
Right.
flannel jeans and flip flops. What?
That's exactly how I imagine her all the time.
Me
Like
too.
just really rocking a flannel and jeans. Like,
Yep.
Just super casual.
Baby on a hip.
yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the baby because I think that would have been extra creepy of me.
Well, yeah, it would have been
Yes.
really weird.
She probably would have been like, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna send in someone else
she
to pick it up.
left and walk out. So then, yeah. Anyways, that was really awkward sharing. But yeah, so Natalie Portman, I just think she's wonderful just to watch, and she's such an interesting person.
Yeah.
I agree.
I am obsessed with Elizabeth Moss. She's someone
It
that
took me I don't know why it took me a second to register Elizabeth Moss, but now I'm with you. Okay.
Peggy Olson. Wait,
Yes.
no, Peggy?
Yeah, Peggy.
Peggy Olsen.
Peggy Olson, Mad Men. Yes, I was like, did I get the last name wrong?
Or Zoe Bartlett. as the
Yes.
case
Wait.
were.
What?
West
Zoe
Wing.
Bartlett.
Is that what that is?
West Wing. She
Yeah.
was the daughter in West Wing.
Oh, I never watched West Wing.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
this keeps happening to her.
Keep going. Just ignore me.
I mean, even Girl Interrupted. I mean, I've just been obsessed with her.
She was in Girl Interrupted?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I need to rewatch that. It's been like a decade.
Yeah, she played, she was the girl that was like burned. I don't know why I'm laughing. being a burn victim is not a joke.
Well, now it's a thing. So now
Yeah.
we're all laughing.
She was
Now
like
we're all
burned.
laughing. Good job, Cynthy.
Yeah, no, I she's just so intelligent, and I love loved watching her character evolve on Mad Men.
Yeah.
I think she did such a good job because like that whole show is pretty much like about Dawn and Peggy, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
More so than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I love her. I absolutely love her. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Her, Natalie Portman. I don't know who else. Oh, this is hard. There's just so many fantastic female actresses that I'm obsessed with.
I know, right? Yeah, I always ask these things, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the one answering it.
I know.
I could go forever. Who would be the three? We can come back too. We can come back to a third.
Maybe
actress.
come back.
Let's just sit here in awkward silence for 30 seconds while you think of it.
Yeah, just like stare at you.
Oh dear.
We're gonna Natalie Portman stare at you.
Okay, so the other top three that we have for you. What did I have for the other top three? Oh,
teen movies.
Teen movies.
Teen movies. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
I think that's important.
Hard. This is impossible. This is an impossible question.
I know, right?
For sure. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, like you laugh, you cry, you think about life and love and friendship and identity. It's everything.
It really is.
Everything.
Yeah.
So many feels.
Yeah.
So many feels. It's just so good. Every time I watch it, I just like discover another layer.
Absolutely. That's one of those ones I still haven't actually watched it again since Heath Ledger died, but it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah. So I think it's about time I revisit that action. It's so good.
So good. I'm trying to think of my favorite moment in that movie. Maybe when Heath Ledger is singing.
I was just about to say the bleachers.
Say, what can't be? That has to be it. Isn't that everybody's? That one and
that one. And then of course when Julia Stiles is reading the poem and crying, you're just like, oh my god.
Oh man. So good.
I'm gonna start crying right now.
Oh, I know.
Man.
And the part when she goes, remove head from sphincter, then drive. I yell at drivers all the time, anytime they're being stupid.
And I believe we've mentioned before, too, the infamous black underwear, the black panties thing in that. They're like, is that a thing that means you want to have sex someday?
Sometimes you just want to have pretty anyway, I'm not going to answer that.
No, I didn't know that, like, black underwear was a thing.
Yeah.
So bought my first black pair of underwear, I was like, am I being naughty? I was like, no, there's like nothing happening for me at age 14. Like I had to lie about going to dances because my mom like chased guys out with a broomstick.
Oh my gosh.
True story.
Well, she sounds lovely. We should have her on the show now.
She's amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was... Oh, and I love the part when Julia Stiles goes crazy at the party in the movie.
Yes. Oh, man. I think the falling out of the swing thing is about my favorite thing on the planet, too, BT
That
dubs.
was pretty great.
Yeah. It's just a great movie, so that's a perfect pick.
That was a good one. Gosh, teen movies. Gosh, this is hard.
We've got you stumped.
I know. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
I want to say Clueless.
Ooh,
yeah, you do. Because you're awesome. Clearly.
Because it was just really great. I just love it.
Yeah, I've been seeing a resurgence of Clueless-related things lately, too.
The Azalea. Well, even before that.
Yeah, because I want to say, like, now, isn't it 20 years old now? Like, wasn't that 94?
Is it? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm IMDb'ing it.
That's craziness.
I want to say that it's got to be around there because I watched that when I was a kid visiting my grandma in Jersey all the time, and like my grandma really liked that movie. And
95, so
95, yeah, so almost 20 years.
Let's not get crazy.
Well,
crazy.
19.
Almost 20 years?
Yeah.
Dude.
Wow.
That's insane. We are only a few months from 2015, so yeah, I'm calling it 20 years.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my God.
Mean Girls. I just have to.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude.
Mean Girls is a modern classic, which is also 10 years old now.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
Yeah. I like can't wrap my head around that I was like on my way to college 10 years ago. That's
You look
insane.
the same, so that's all that matters.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
pretty
all
sure
that matters.
I follow you on Instagram. Every picture you post, I'm like, that looks like you took that from yesterday. Like every Throwback Thursday. Corey looks the same.
Well, that's what happens when you
Corey,
don't
you're like
change
Paul Rudd.
anything about your look. Mean Girls
Mean
is
Girls.
fantastic.
That's there were just so many lines that were epic. I remember being in Laguna and people saying, "Boo,
Laguna was
you
a dorm,
whore."
by the way. Laguna is a dorm. I think that's an important thing.
Yes, I think that's important.
Not everyone who listens to this
Towers.
went there. The Towers, Laguna and Huntington. Yeah, Boo You Whore is a classic. Well, it's every time I meet someone who hasn't seen it, I'm like, how do you understand like half the things people say to you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because it's so quotable. People are constantly saying, like, you go, Glen Coco, boo, you whore, you know.
Who wants a hump day treat?
Yeah, there's so many things from that movie that are just...
days we wear pink.
Yeah. I'm like, these are all part of the lexicon. How do you not know? So anytime someone tells me they haven't seen it, I'm like, we need to remedy this immediately.
And it's on Netflix now, so there's no excuse for people not to see it.
Exactly.
Really.
I've never met a person who's like, Mean Girls, ugh.
I know. It's such a good movie.
So that's an excellent 3.
Yes.
And do you want to circle back on a third actress?
Oh gosh, a third actress. Like who? I'm just gonna go like who? God.
So the last movie.
Apparently, I can only think about one thing at a time.
Story of my life.
It's just so. Oh, there's just so many good ones.
It's okay.
That's all right. We won't make you. This is really cruel of us to make you prioritize that way.
I mean, who do I usually talk about?
Do you want us to list people? Would that help?
Yeah,
we're just gonna. There's J-Law, obviously.
J-Law. That's always one people
Meryl.
like.
There's
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. There's
Amy Adams.
Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton.
Okay.
She's adorbs. That's a good one.
I love her from Annie Hall to every movie. She's just amazing. She's just so cute, and she's maintained such a wonderful career, and she's just so true to, you know, she has such an interesting perspective in how she tells stories, and it's just her personality that like shines in every role. So she's just adorable. She's just adorable.
I love that. Yeah. That's a good one. I feel like that's someone I don't often think about, but then when I do, I'm like, oh yeah, she's pretty great. That's good.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah, there's an ease in seeing her work. I'm just like, I want to hang out with you and grab brunch.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
I may or may not be
brunch.
staring.
That's an interesting meal to choose.
But that's an interesting
meal to choose. Brunch. I don't usually be like, I want to get brunch with you. Like that sounds very like I don't know.
It's
that's
Hollywood.
A very fancy meal. I feel like fancy people do brunch.
Oh,
right.
Well, I mean, brunch.
Is it like a Hollywood thing? You do brunch with people to like talk about Hollywood things.
I don't know. I don't feel very Hollywood, but no. I guess I've been appreciating brunch more since I started eating eggs again.
Oh yeah, that's kind of key to brunch. If you don't eat eggs, brunch kind of fails.
Yeah, I might as well eat lunch.
Okay, so then let's move on and just talk about you then, and your life and your business. Recently, you were on the show Twisted.
Let's talk about that for just a second.
Yeah, Laddie,
Kristin,
take it away.
Look, Kristen's eyes just got big.
Okay, so here's the thing. So Corey was like, "Hey, Cynthy's gonna be on. We should watch Twisted." I'm like, "Oh, I think I've seen that on Netflix. I should watch a couple so we can at least ask you some kind of intelligent question about it without being like, okay." And then I spent like 3 days in my apartment by myself in the dark watching this freaking show because I'm like, every episode just gave me more questions. I'm like, what's the effing deal with the necklace? Like, why is he doing that smirk? Is he seriously a sociopath? Or they just want you to make you think he's a sociopath, but he's not really one. And it's like, so many, and like the cast is just so interesting to me because like the main character is an Indian guy.
Mm-hmm.
The main, like, popular, hot, pretty girl is black. The, like, derpy side, like, other kind of friend, like, outcast friend is, like, the white girl. I'm like, what is happening in this show? Denise Richards is just in it. And I'm like, what? I don't think I've ever seen anything with Denise Richards, ever. except for Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
So then when she was in it, I was like, oh, yeah. Because I always just think of her as, like, Mrs. Charlie Sheen, because that was such a big blow-up that I kind of forget that she, like,
that she
acts.
actually,
So then,
does stuff.
Yeah, and she's in it, and I'm just, like, just intrigued by everything that happens on this show. And I got sucked into this, like, and then I got sidetracked on a Canadian drama, so I have to get back to it because I haven't finished season. I'm anyway, I binge watched it, and it was intense.
Now, did you watch it, Cynthy, before coming on, or did you just go in blind?
No, I definitely watched it. I had to do research, obviously, and my research is I got to watch TV shows.
Right. Yep.
Before I went in, and then I got hooked on it. I was just like, oh my gosh! So I definitely got myself up to speed before I auditioned and knew what I was getting into.
Does that usually help to know the show before you go into something, or do they expect that of you usually, or are you expected to just kind of read whatever's put in front of you and that's it?
I think it's just smart. I think it's expected that you should know a little bit about the show, and it's just smart. Like, you don't want to go in and think what you're reading for is completely different, So it was smart to just kind of know the background and everything. And also, like, for the role I was reading, I was like, oh, okay, Andy, I kind of knew how to, that they needed a little bit of, like, light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So many people dying and killing, and it was just crazy. Like, is this like your typical high school experience? Like,
I'm like, where is this place?
Yeah.
Why did they let him go back to school? That has always been my question.
Yeah.
Like, that cannot.
Question one.
Like, that's got to be an expulsion thing if you murder someone. That was like my
you
big
would think.
hang-up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean, but he did it when he was 11. So, I mean, he was in juvie. I'm not saying it's okay, kid.
Dude, I don't know. I saw this episode of... Anyway, that's a totally different sidetrack. But it's addicting, internet, so be careful. I mean, you should watch it, but just know that you will lose days. And then you'll wake up out of the days and be like, where am I?
Yeah. It's intense, for sure.
Well, what's it like when you go onto something like Twisted or the other shows that you've been on? Because you've kind of done... in a short span of time, several different sitcoms and dramas and things like that you've appeared on. What is it like to walk onto a set for the first time, especially like this? You came in the second season, so you're in the middle of something that's already been going. But really, what's the experience like?
A lot of excitement, a lot of nerves, but yeah, I'm trying to like remember back to like that initial first thing coming on. You're kind of thrown into this whirlpool of just, I'm still getting used to like 50 people being, there's like 20 guys working the lights and like, right before you go on, you'd have to get your sound mic'd and putting it in strange places so your mic stays stable.
Right.
But everyone's so nice and, there's just like, just a lot of people there. And you just have to remember, like, okay, this is what I'm doing. So, like, there's a part of you that has to, like, preserve whatever it is that you've worked on, and whether and obviously I'm not doing like some crazy drama. I'm doing comedy and stuff. So it doesn't take too much to get there. But yeah, it's just a lot, and I think that's like the one thing I've had to get used to is, okay, there's just a lot of people on set. But it's cool because, you just kind of meet people. And I think with Twisted, it was really neat because I just got to bond with some of my castmates and just kind of chit-chat. And I think the first thing I noticed was that they didn't stay married to the script. That and not every show is like that. Some shows, the writers and producers are very adamant with you staying, word verbatim, like, this is what we wrote, this is what we need to hear, and this tells a story. But with Twisted, I think they really trusted the actors to make it their own. And so I noticed, like, I would be watching someone's scene and see that they're kind of ad-libbing, and so I asked the producer and I'm like, so is that like normal, is that cool? And he's like, yeah, obviously don't go off track, but if you're in it and you guys play, that's it's all good. So I think that was really cool. Like, they created an environment that was just really open to you playing and creating moments. So I think that was something really cool.
And being, I mean, as you talked about, you're the daughter of immigrants, and you get into deciding this is what you want to do with your life. You get an agent and all this. Then when it comes to the auditions you're sent on and casting calls and all this stuff, what do those look like for you? Do you find there's a lot of space for an Asian girl in Hollywood?
Such an interesting question. I get this a lot. Yeah, it really depends. You know, do I see a ton of auditions that say specifically looking for an Asian girl? No. I would say that most of the leads, I feel, you know, more and more so they're saying open to all ethnicities, but I feel like still the leads predominantly they're Caucasian. And then there's like this category of ethnically ambiguous.
Right.
Sure.
I know a thing or two about that.
Exactly. So I'm seeing more and more opportunities for that casting opens up to everyone, that they're going to, like, they have an idea for a lead and they're willing to see people of all backgrounds. And it also depends on your representation, you know, your agent and your manager, if they submit you for things that don't just say Asian. And I'm so lucky to have people who are representing me that don't just see me as like an Asian girl. They're like, oh, you're just an American girl, who I'm like, thank you. Like, what is America? America is like not all white. Right. Like, you know, there's
actually especially here. It's
around here that's definitely not the case.
That's definitely not the case.
Definitely not the case. Yeah. And so yes, they definitely submit me and try to get me auditions for anything and everything that they see fit. So I do get in the room, I feel, a lot, because, you know, they're not just putting me as like little Asian girl.
And do you think people do you think people of color who act kind of have that problem with representation sometimes, that they only put them out there for things that specifically ask for that type, like they're not willing to go out on the limb like yours is?
I think some might, you know. I really I don't know. I don't have I have friends in classes and stuff, but I don't feel like I'm pigeonholed, you know, into a certain stereotype, but I can see how, even if it's not about race or color or anything like that, how Hollywood will just try to see you one way. And if you don't, there's two things. It's, you know, people say, okay, well, what's your type? What's your typecast? You know, that's like a thing. And if you just kind of buy into that, you're going to get sucked in, and, you know, and you know, whether it's a color or otherwise, you know, short, small, handicap, you know, whatever, giant if you're like 6'5", you know. But yeah, I'm sure people run into that problem.
And you don't, I mean, do you feel that typecasting has been an issue with you? I don't feel like you're playing the same role all the time, but...
No, I don't feel like... Wait, the question was, do I feel like I'm being typecast? Yeah,
have you kind of experienced that, or do you think you're kind of being able to play whatever at this point?
I feel like they're letting me, you know, getting me appointments that I can audition for different roles, definitely. You know, the stuff I worked on growing up, Fisher, Welcome to the Family, they were seeing all ethnicities. It wasn't just Asian or white or, you know, girl of color. So I feel like it was pretty open, and Twisted was also very open. I was the only Asian girl that went to the top 4.
Oh, wow.
That I know of. The other 3 girls were Caucasian from what I remember. So yeah, but I think right now I definitely look kind of petite and stuff, so I feel like younger, you know. Right. A part of me is like, I want to do this really gritty roles. I want to be able to kill people. I can kill people. You want to,
right? Yeah.
And so maybe you know, maybe that's just with time. I went in for pilot season. I went in to this one audition that they were casting 20-something. It's for this new show where she's like, it's very, gosh, what show is it? I don't know. There were just so many pilots. Yeah. But she has superpowers, and she's helping solve crime and stuff like that. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I got this, and you know, and like, you're solving math problems. I'm like, yes, I love math. I so do this. So I went and I did it, and then she was just like, oh, you're so cute.
Oh no.
Thanks. But yeah. But, you know, it's just one of those things.
Right. Is that weird that you're playing high schoolers at this point? Or are you kind of, it's whatever?
No, I love it. I think it's fun. I feel lucky that I'm able to do this, you know, and I feel like life experience helps with that. Yeah. And I also feel like high schoolers nowadays, like, they're not simple. They're actually very mature, and they experience a lot more life than we think. So I just think it depends on the project. Yeah. So I think it's fun, and as I get older, I'll be, you know, eventually play 20s and 30s.
Right.
You know.
Did you like high school? Is it nice to like, or is it like a second chance because high school was sucky?
Definitely a second chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of bullied a lot when I was in elementary school. Mm-hmm. And so, middle school I finally started making friends in 7th and 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And then 9th through 12th was kind of like, I had friends, people were nice, but I don't know. I was kind of quiet and, just one of the quiet ones, not in the know, not in the loop of what's cool and stuff.
Totally. So. Yeah. Now, one of the things that's interesting is coming on something like Twisted as opposed to the shows that you had been on sort of before that, is that you have more of a like teen demographic that's watching this. And so all of a sudden you have an influx of like younger fans and stuff like that. I always love every time you post a picture on Instagram, the inevitable like comment of when's Twisted come back? Immediately. But
I love that.
What is that like suddenly having like this new surge of fans, especially from like a younger demographic for you?
Yeah, it was really cool and surprising. I was like, wow, people are following me. Okay,
yeah.
This is interesting now. I definitely don't care, like, anyway, it's just like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm not trying to get likes. I do think we're just in a different generation where it's, cool. I'd rather be chilling, if with people that know me. Mm-hmm. You don't really know me through Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, or whatever. But it's definitely neat, when people are watching. Definitely, I appreciate that the kids watch and that they follow and will write sweet comments, like when they'll say, oh, I really like Andy's perspective, or, she's good for Rico. I'm like, there's some level-minded teenagers out there. Way to go. Yeah. But yeah, and yeah, I think it's kind of neat to like have people, people watching and yeah.
Have you seen any of the like things on Tumblr or GIFs or anything of yourself?
Yes, I have actually. It's really funny. Have you guys seen the Virgin episode of Twisted?
No.
Oh my God.
Kristin, have you?
It's on YouTube.
Oh boy.
You should. It's worth YouTubing after.
Okay.
This.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a really good laugh. It's one of my favorite episodes that I shot. But yeah, it's like a food truck scene, and I just reveal that I'm a virgin, and I thought that my boyfriend wanted to have sex, and I was a virgin, and so it was very awkward. And so then someone turned it into a GIF. Yes. So I'm just like, I'm a virgin. I think that's great. Yeah, so that there was that, and then my awkward president's speech one where did you guys? I don't know if you saw.
I think I did. Yeah, I actually started up at where you were instead of.
Oh, I started at the beginning.
Yeah, she started at the beginning.
I haven't quite gotten to the. I'm still on season 1.
Yeah.
Because I got sidetracked by, and that's a different story.
Some Canadian show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens a lot to me, oddly.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, so. That's okay. But yeah, there's been a couple of like things on YouTube and stuff like that. But it was funny because ABC Family does all the hashtags.
Yeah.
So one time the episode where I was acting all weird was because I was afraid of telling my boyfriend like I'm a virgin, and they had a hashtag is Andy cheating.
Oh my gosh!
Like, no one informed me that that's what they were going for. Till I'm the good one.
Yeah. No, I wasn't cheating.
It was hysterical because all of a sudden I got all these hate tweets.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like blowing up at that night that episode showed, and people were like, "She barely got Rico. What does she think she's doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I barely got Rico." That's true though, but yeah.
That is so funny. I always wonder what it must be like on the receiving end of those kinds of tweets and things. People are so passionate about the characters and the story, and that obviously rolls over to the people playing them a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it does. But it was funny, and then of course it got resolved, and they were like, I knew it. She was too good.
There's no way she would do that. It's got to be nice, just being like, no, I'm the good guy.
Yeah, it was nice to I think just being a little bit of the goofy one with Rico.
Yeah,
kind of goofy and keeping it light, and you know, I think it was good for the show because there was a lot.
Absolutely.
It was really intense. Some of the love triangles.
Yeah, you gotta have something to sort of break that tension, I think. And so from my Tumblring and seeing things come up on my dashboard, I have seen that people seem to very much like your character and that lightheartedness that she brought. So that's always good. Yeah, so we don't have a whole heck of a lot of time. I do want to ask you about Road Hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that action.
Yeah. Do you guys like listen to any of Adam Carolla's podcasts or anything like that?
I don't think I'd ever, like, when I was younger, I remember Adam Carolla being on the radio. But I don't even know if he still is now or anything like that. But I know who he is.
Yeah. No, it's funny enough, that was actually one of the few auditions that I went in for that was strictly only Asian. They were auditioning Asian girls to play his daughter. I'm like, oh. Like for a movie that he wrote. I was like, what? So I guess he thought it was interesting that if in the story that he had adopted an Asian daughter.
Okay.
So, okay. Way to mix it up, Adam. Way to mix it up. So yeah, it was such a fun experience auditioning for that, and great script. I had like 3 hours with it before my audition.
Oh, wow.
So I went in, it was such an easy read. It was so funny, naturally. I mean, those are the good scripts when you don't have to, like, work hard.
Right. Yeah. It's just lazy. There. Yeah.
When you can just go in and just, like, have a conversation and the lines just happen to be there.
Yeah.
But no, it was such a fun experience. That was my first movie.
Wow.
So to shoot with Adam Carolla and Kevin Hench, who was also directing Road Hard. And he's one of the producers. He's the executive producer of Last Man Standing.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Hench's, and he has that new show, Christella, coming out on ABC this fall.
I don't know if I've heard of that one yet. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it got greenlit. So I don't know if the pilot got greenlit or it's ordered to
the whole
series.
thing, yeah.
But anyways, I was just so thankful for the whole experience, working with such like an amazing professional crew. Like, this is a real movie, you know?
Yeah.
And it was so fun and easy shooting with him. He's just pretty much himself.
That's awesome. And when will we see that? When does that?
I think they're. Last I spoke to someone, they're aiming for next spring.
Mm-hmm.
I think they may be going through the Film Fest circuit.
Okay, cool.
Next spring, but if you are interested, you can follow their Twitter at Road Hard Movie.
Sweet,
so,
excellent. Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, let's move on to a little pop culture. Woo! Thank you for regaling us with a little bit about the life of an actress. Always fun to hear those kinds of things, you know, hear it from the inside. There are a few trailers that have hit the internet lately. Cynthy, do you watch trailers very often for films?
Sometimes if they catch my eye, I'm like, what was that?
Okay.
But I did look up the trailers that you...
Oh, you did?
Yes, because I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. So first and foremost, there's Interstellar.
Oh my goodness, yes. Mm-hmm.
You guys, what did you think of the Interstellar trailer?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a tearjerker.
Yeah.
I was, like, getting emotional during the trailer, and that's when you know it's going to be a good one.
Right.
Sucker for those. And I was like, is this, like, Gravity?
It's, like, Gravity and Contact and, like...
Just everything. You're just wonderful. Like, why do people have to go to space and, like, lose their family and die and, like, you know, it's just... But I'm going to go see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm totally going to see it. I'm going to sob.
I made the decision that I want someone to go and tell me if he comes back or not.
I think the answer is no. I'm going to say it's no. Oh, darn it, frozen.
Someone tells me, like, who dies, because I'm like, all right, I don't want to be super... And those are the only movies. Usually I don't want to know what happens, but I'm like, for this one, I'm like, no, I have to know what happens at the end before I commit, because if I sit through 2 hours and he effing, like, is coming, like, goes to the atmosphere and dies in, like, the landing of coming back to Earth, I'm going to be so pissed that my life would be ruined, pretty sure.
I'm imagining, like, a Bruce Willis Armageddon type thing happening here.
If he says Anne Hathaway and she comes back and he dies, I'm not even going to...
That's it.
You're right, Kristin. I don't know if I'll be able to handle if he doesn't make it back.
I can't. I'm telling you right now, I can't do it. With that little girl and that little and that when she's running out and that old man grabs her and she's like, ah, like screaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my, and he's driving away crying and
Yeah.
And Hathaway's like, did you tell her what you were doing? And he's like, no.
Like,
I'm
can't you
oh
tell her you're
God.
saving the world?
What are you? Like, I'm crying right now thinking about it. You guys.
See, this is not a good sign. I know.
Too emotionally attached to things. I cried at the IKEA sad lamp commercial. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna be able to make it through this freaking movie. I'm just gonna call Christopher Nolan and be like, Chris, does he live?
Does he make it?
Tell me if he makes it back to Murphy.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I've already come to terms with the fact that I don't think he's going to. So I'll be the person who goes for you, Kristen.
Okay. Great. I'd appreciate it.
I'll let you know.
Great.
Yeah, but this, like, this movie looks huge, like, just in scope, and looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the cast, and I'm super looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they've given you more of the plot, because I remember the first trailer, I was like, I don't quite understand what's happening right now. So
yeah, which they did with Gravity, and then there wasn't really a plot in Gravity, so I was a little worried it was just going to be another one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it does look real. It does. You're right. It does look pretty.
Oh, pretty. Oh my
So.
gosh. Yeah. And then Into the Woods, the trailer. The trailer came out this week.
I don't think it was that happy.
Well, she's singing it's like the theme. Have you seen Into the Woods?
I'm the first act of Into the Woods. Into the woods.
Yeah.
Into the woods and out of the woods.
So I am like one of those weird dissenting people. Sondheim musicals like make my head hurt. And I don't like Into the Woods. So, and Kristen captured it with her, Into the Woods, out of the woods. It's like, oh my God, if they do like that stupid song one more time in this, I shall die. However, the internet is pretty excited about this trailer. What did you guys think?
I wish they had provided more, I don't know, more
Singing.
just more.
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of plain.
Yeah. It's almost like they're depending on people's enthuthing already. You know, that they're like, you want Into the Woods, so you already know.
I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a thing that I've ever said.
Yeah. So they need to convince us, I think, a little bit more for either people who don't like Into the Woods like me, or for people who just have no idea what the heck this is.
Yeah. Well, it was just a teaser.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this, it kind of reminded me, you know that stupid Cinderella? They're like, ooh, the Cinderella live action. I've been like super stoked for a trailer because I feel like that movie is going to be, I'm like super looking forward to it. I don't know why. Because I'm 12.
Live action.
But
Well,
yeah, it's Kenneth Branagh and it's a live action Cinderella.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
So they like, teaser trailer, but all it was a picture of like the glass slipper. They like zoomed out on it.
I did see that,
and then that was it. I'm like, you are effing kidding me with this teaser trailer right now.
That's not a teaser trailer, that's a moving poster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, I've seen the poster. I didn't need to waste that, 30 seconds of the shoe spinning. I'm like, who gives a crap about that? So that's what my thing with teaser trailers. I'm like, sometimes they're not. They usually just piss you off more than they actually get you excited for a movie.
That's a good point.
And this one did that for me. I'm just I wasn't pissed off, but I was more just like, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wish there'd been more. I almost feel like I'm going to be bummed when they add the music, because I feel like this actually could be a cool movie without the music.
Right? I know, without the music, I'm like, I'm kind of into it.
Not that I love musicals, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, this actually looks, they're making it very, I don't know, just the way, from the look of it, I'm like, this could be a cool just drama, period. No musicking.
I'm worried that Chris Pine is going to, like, pull, like, a Russell Crowe in singing, and it makes me really stressed out.
No, he's not. Because remember?
Not?
No, he sang on, was it Jimmy Kimmel?
Probably
Jimmy Fallon. And he was, like,
those,
singing some Dean Martin song. It was delightful.
Oh, my God.
He got the words completely wrong, but he was
That's
like...
fine.
He's kind of got, like, a Frank Sinatra-y, like, oldie tune kind of guy going. I'm going to send you guys a link. It's
yeah, you should. Send us the
magnificent.
link, because that sounds amazing.
I about swooned
Yeah.
when I saw it.
Okay, then maybe I don't have to worry, because that stresses me out. I'm like, Chris Pine, I love him. I don't want him to embarrass himself. That's all.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to, but...
Yeah. So then another one that was before Guardians of the Galaxy was There's Another Night at the Museum movie, you guys. That's adorable.
There is another Night at the Museum movie.
Yeah. Like, this looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
It actually does. Yeah, and I actually kind of like those movies.
Yeah, who doesn't like Night at the Museum?
I don't know.
So good.
It's just like, it's a fun premise. It brings you back to like Jumanji type days,
Slash
or Zathura.
The mixed up files of
Mrs.
Mrs.
Basil.
The little T. Detweiler, Rottweiler.
I feel like that Weiler.
Frankfurter, whatever. That book.
We're just making
I
up
can't remember the
words
title.
now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
And
things.
the Skype is like breaking you guys up, so I'm getting like every other syllable. So that was great.
That might have just been the way we were talking.
We weren't actually saying words, so you actually
think-
listened to exactly what we were saying.
I think that was genuinely what was being said there.
But this one was pretty funny.
Yeah.
actually, too, and it had some really funny moments on it. So I was pretty excited about it.
Cynthy, have you ever seen The Pacific?
The Pacific. Wait, what is
It's a
that?
mini series. It's like Band of Brothers,
But in the Pacific.
but in the Pacific instead. Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's really good. And one of the guys in it, Rami Malek? I don't know
Yes.
how you say his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Heard of
he
him.
plays like this super crazy guy who's like kind of terrifying in the Pacific, named Snafu. But he is also in Night at the Museum. He's what's his name in Night at the Museum? He's like the
Isn't he
Egyptian
King
god.
Tut?
Yeah. Is he King Tut? I
don't
thought he
know.
was something
He
more
looks like an
obscure than
Egyptian
that.
of some
Yeah,
sort.
he's like an Egyptian dude. He's in that.
That's the only
so-
Egyptian person I know, so.
Yeah, he's King Tut. There's only one, right? But so throughout this trailer, it's like you're like half like, oh my god, yay, and half like, oh, but he's scary. He's really terrifying with his giant eyes. Like,
But he's
like a lemur. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. The final trailer to discuss, though, is really weird.
yeah.
Horns.
What?
Horns?
Oh, that looks so weird and scary and funny.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I have no idea what to expect of it. It seems to be based on a
neither.
book from the beginning
yeah.
of it. It's Daniel Radcliffe in this movie, who may or may not have murdered his girlfriend.
Right.
And
So-
the whole town thinks he did it. And he is trying to prove his innocence, but somehow in this process grows horns.
Yeah, and I read the synopsis because I watched it. Yeah, so apparently he grows horns, right?
And then everyone does crazy things.
But then he like gets these horns give him like powers.
Yeah.
So it's like so when he tells those guys like, oh, fight over it, and then whoever wins, it's like
Yeah.
he gets like some kind of weird demon powers to like help him solve the crime
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
He gets demon powers. I don't know.
The horns give him demon I don't know what's going on, frankly. All I know is that I'm like super creeped out the whole time, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Although I will say I was surprised by how good his American accent was.
Yeah. There was one moment it kind of slipped in there, but yeah, he did a pretty good job. I don't know. I just don't know what to make of this movie. Like, it could be like awesome, or this could just be ridiculous. You know, like
Yeah.
I think while I was watching the trailer, some text flashed and someone said the best performance of
Yeah.
that clip. And I was like, horns? Like, is this what he wants? You know, and people go like,
forget Equus. It's all about horns.
this is it, guys, horns.
If you think about it, though, although that reminds me, have you guys ever seen the trailer for Tiptoes?
No.
I've never even heard of that.
Okay, Tiptoes, you guys have to watch this. A, watch the trailer for it, and then B, look up Daniel Tosh spoils Tiptoes. And I normally can't stand Daniel Tosh.
I hate that fool. I'm
He
not
is
watching this
a
video.
pox upon humanity. But it's really funny when he spoils. Basically, all he does in this is tell you exactly what happens in the movie, and the movie is so ridiculous. It's basically Matthew McConaughey has a brother or comes from a family of little people, and he meets
McConaughey does.
yeah, and he meets Kate Beckinsale, and they fall in love, and then she finds out he is of little people, and she's really pissed off that he didn't tell her this. And Gary Oldman plays his brother. I don't
Is he
know,
a little
like,
person
he's
too?
a little person. And in the trailer, it's like, and Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime.
No, you're serious.
I am not kidding you. This is real.
Oh my god.
It's so bad, you guys. Like, I can't. adequately express it, so you just have to watch the trailer yourself, and then you're gonna be like, I thought she was making it up. It's worse than she described.
It's called tiptoes.
Perfect. Tiptoes.
Because little people are always on their tiptoes.
I guess, like, how isn't that horribly offensive?
It's kind of offensive. Yeah.
This whole thing is so offensive. I can't even with that.
It's the role of a lifetime.
Yeah, it's the role of a lifetime. And I think, like, at the end of, like, because she gets pregnant, and they don't know whether the baby's going to be little or not, you know?
Oh,
and then,
that's what she's pissed about.
Yeah. Although I don't know if she's pregnant when she's pissed. I'm not entirely sure about this. But I feel like at the end of the movie, it turns out that she has a little person as baby, and, like, Matthew McConaughey leaves her. Because he's like, I can't deal with it.
Freaking way.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
He's like, oh, my life is so hard.
I can't do this anymore.
I'm so intrigued now. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Because I've never really, like, you don't ever meet people who are, like, worried about, like, oh no, what if I have a little person baby? You know, like, that's not like, you know, they will never be able to have a normal functioning life. It's like, they live pretty much like everybody else. So
really normal. Like,
like, that's such a weird premise for a movie. Like, as if, you know, she's going to give birth to, like, a kid that will never, like, have life. You're like, no, it's just a little
there's even
person.
that show on reality TV.
Little People, Big World.
I've been to that farm, the Little People, Big World farm.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I met the Roloff family because it was in, like, the town I lived in Oregon. So it was like, why not? Let's go. Let's go see the spectacle. Yeah, it was totally normal. So, Tiptoes, you're just crazy.
I still can't get over that name.
Tiptoes, you guys.
That's
crazy.
So offensive.
Yeah. All this to say, though, with Daniel Radcliffe and the role, you know, his best role ever, whatever. In fairness, if you think about it, he's been in the Harry Potter movies. He was in, like, Woman in Black or whatever that movie was called.
Yeah.
And, like, but he doesn't have, like, a huge movie career so far. So really, it could be his best role, but he's just kind of getting started, right?
Yeah, but they made it sound like he'll never do anything like this again. I'm like, really? He's never gonna... Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I hope this is the last weird, creepy movie he does.
This is what, like, child stars do. You know, they have to do something that's, like, super weird. And then...
Yeah,
but I thought he was naked on stage with a horse. Wasn't that the weird
That's
thing
true.
that he did? That was, like, his big Miley Cyrus, hey, I'm not a girl, I'm not yet a woman, whatever.
Wait, when was he naked on stage?
That was Equus.
Equus, he was naked.
Yeah, that was
And
a
it was
big
like this
deal.
big deal because Harry Potter was naked on stage, but that was like his big, like, hey guys, I'm not Harry Potter, I'm a naked man. I'm pasty, but I'm naked.
Yeah.
Oh
You know?
my goodness.
Yeah, he's a very pasty man.
He already had that moment of, like, that
it's true.
shedding
And then
of that skin.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks ago there was also him walking, like, the 12 dogs with the cigarette.
Oh my god,
So,
that was the most glorious picture.
It really is. Did you see that, Cynthy?
No.
It's wonderful. Yeah, he's got all these dogs.
It's
oh my
so
gosh.
weird.
Oh my gosh, I did. He's just dog walking. Oh my gosh, he's just like a shit ton of dogs.
Yeah. And it's like they're like around a belt around his waist.
I mean, how else are you gonna do? You can't smoke
how
a
do you
cigarette
walk?
and hold all those dogs.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yes.
So maybe he's just a weird guy, you know?
I feel like he might be. I mean, I'm sure he can pick his project.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great actor. I think he's a really good actor. But he might just like the weird stuff.
Exactly. Like, some people are just, like, weird dudes. That's their cup of tea.
Here's the thing. One time, and I feel like I talk about this interview a lot. Probably because I tell everybody to listen to it. So I listened to this Tom Hiddleston podcast on Nerdist. This is literally like the third show in a row I've talked about it.
And we should really link to it. I don't think we did before, but anyway.
Probably not. Anyway. And it's like old. It's like almost a year old. So anyway, he's talking about, because they're asking him that question. He's been doing a lot of, because he's been doing a lot of, like, period movies and, like, warriors. He's like, I don't know, I won't do the accent because I won't want to ruin it for you. But in this just the most wonderful way, he just explains how, and someone else had told him, and some other cool British guy, you know, Anthony Hopkins, or I don't know, someone kick ass. It's like, you know, you just have these times in your life where you've got to get that out of your system. So he's like, right now, I want to be, I got this warrior kind of self to get out of my system. So he does all these, he plays Loki, he's in the War Horse movie, he's in all these movies where he's playing these, you know, these soldiers, and, you know, you do that for a while, and then you kind of progress and you know, whatever. He's like, I can't wait till he said something a crack about getting to the age where you can play like old wizards, you know, like getting to my old crockety wizard phase, but kind of going through these stages. So maybe Daniel Radcliffe's just in his like
he's just in his
creepy ass sci-fi state. I don't know.
Yeah. He's Macaulay Culkining or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway.
You do you, Daniel Radcliffe. That's fine.
You. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna probably won't see that one. I'll probably see the other one with the girl that it's like his friend, but he like is in love with her, right? You know the other one
with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah,
it's also coming out.
Yeah.
I missed this. I think.
Right, it's like one of those like right now here we're going.
I don't know.
Something.
Like that. Then there's that Chloe Moretz one too that's coming out. That's like it has a title like that too.
Yeah.
If I Stay. Yeah.
If I Stay, there you go.
Yeah. Teen titles of things, but yeah, I don't know about this.
What if?
What
That's
if?
Not even close.
See, it even has, but no, it even has an if in it. Like,
yeah.
All these movies are interchangeable when you give them titles like that.
Yeah.
If I Stay, What If, Daniel Radcliffe, Chloe Moretz, whatever.
There you go.
Live your life.
You do you, Daniel.
Yeah. So,
You're
anyways,
little man. Just want to put him in my pocket. He's like a little nugget.
it's a little, just fits in your purse. Put it in your purse. Anyways, Cynthy, thank you so much for chatting with us and being a part of the Fancave mayhem today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Any old time, anytime.
We're excited to creepily stare at you when we see you in a restaurant someday like this.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us if this ever happens to you. By the way, if you're like standing somewhere and someone does the stare,
rabid teen girl comes running up to you and is like. You know.
Well, that happened to me at the park, but my sister set the trash can on fire, so I was immediately humbled. She was like, "Oh my god, can I take a picture with you?" I was like, "Yeah." And I would take a picture, and then literally I look over, and my sister has lit the park trash can on fire because she put the hot coals in.
Oh my god!
And so then the girl goes back to her family, and she's like, "We need water." So they threw out their sodas and filled up their bucket with water and put out the fire. So I was like, okay.
I'm gonna search Tumblr just to see if I can find like the girl telling that story on the internet. Like,
I have no idea how to find her. I'm just like,
she must have blogged about it. Like, this one time I took a picture with Cynthy Woo, and then her sister lit a trash can on fire, and we had to help put it out.
It was pretty much the most exciting day of my life.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
That's phenomenal. We'll expect updates on that.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you again for being on here. I hope you all enjoyed listening to Cynthy today and listening to us talk pop culture and whatnot. We'll be back again next week with Michael Molcher of 2000 AD, home of Judge Dredd. So make sure you go to the blog on electricbeast.com where you'll see all the links to things we talked about. You can find Cynthy's Instagram and her super snazzy Facebook page and all that kind of stuff on there, as well as the trailers that we discussed and things of that nature. We'll probably come at you later this week with a Guardians of the Galaxy special extra, so keep an eye out for that. It will be full of spoilers! And don't forget to join the Fancave Fiction group Fancave Fiction Club on Goodreads.com, where we will be having our book club. Our first one's in 11 days. We're reading Ready Player One, so you can come hang out with us on Google.
11 days?
Yeah, the 15th. It's the 4th. Get to it, laddie. Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes.
TV to watch. I don't have time to watch Ready Player One.
Seriously. And I was wasting time listening to audiobooks earlier today, too. Ugh, bad decisions. God. Subscribe to us everywhere. Don't forget to rate and review if you like us. And keep on coming back. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye. But it says, this is my cousin. I'm still watching you.
Wait, what?
That's delightfully creepy.